different ways of separating the components of mixtures.
Manual separation.
There are different ways of separating components of mixture. One of those is the manual separation. What we have here is the materials. The first one is the white sugar. The second one are the pebbles. And by the way, pebbles are what we are called the small stones. The last one is the strainer. Why do we have strainer? Actually, pebbles can be separated through our hands or fingers, but today we're gonna use strainer or salaan. Now, let's proceed to the procedures. Step 1. Let us mix the pebbles and the sugar, the white sugar. Good. After mixing, we're gonna shake it. Yeah, shake it. And shake it. Step 3. We're gonna pour the pebbles and the white sugar together in the strainer. And observe what will happen after. Okay. As you can see, the pebbles remain in the strainer and the sugar separated from the pebbles.
Another example of manual separation.
Since we're done with the sugar and the pebbles, let us try another example of manual separation using our hands. The materials needed are the marbles, the water, and an empty container. First procedure, we're going to pour the water into the marbles. I am going to use my fingers to separate the marbles from the water and put it into the empty container. Now, as you can see, the marbles is separated from the water.
Magnetic separation.
Another way of separating mixtures is magnetic separation. These are the materials that I'm going to use. First, magnets in different sizes. Second is magnetic components, which is the stapled wire. And the second is the non-magnetic component is a white sand. It looks like a pulveron, but it's not. So let's proceed to the experiment. First, we're going to pour the white sand into this plate which contains with the magnetic components. I'm going to mix it. Second, we're going to use the bigger magnet and let's see what will happen. And the second magnet. And the third magnet.
Filtration.
The other way of separating mixture is the filtration. The materials are needed: paper towel, and this one is a separating funnel or imbodo, and this one is starch, as we can see, corn starch, and the next is water, and the last is the empty glass. Corn starch is poured in the paper towel. Procedure is pour enough water. And now, we are going to observe what will happen.
Another example.
Another example of filtration now is we're going to use a tea bags. Now we open it. There's black particles inside. We put it in a filter paper or paper towel. Next procedure is we're going to pour the water. Just enough water. Okay, as you can see, the cornstarch is a very small particles. Unlike the tea bags, or the particles of tea bags are a little bit bigger. So it only just take last time only. So this is the result. As you can see, it's all been filtered. I remove it, and you can see it's all water, and that's it.
Decantation.
Another way of separating components of the mixture is the decantation. The materials needed are clean water, extra virgin olive oil, empty glass, and barbecue stick. It is improvised because we don't have a stirring rod. First, pour the oil into the water. And after, stir it with a stick. As you can see, the oil stays on the top because the oil has less dense than the water.
Evaporation.
Now I am going to perform the evaporation. The materials needed for evaporation is salt, just enough salt, and a glass of water. Okay, put the salt in the water, as you can see, and then slowly stir it. Now we put it over there. So as you can see, we have a gas stove. Since we don't have a evaporating dish, we use it a stove. We use low heat. By using, you have to use a holder since it's very hot, and you have to be careful pouring it like this. See? Still, we have to use a low heat. Okay, in a few minutes, we have to wait until it's gonna be evaporates, and it's gonna be, the salt is going to be dissolved.
Meanwhile,
It's almost done. Okay, while still evaporating, with the water evaporating, see, as you can see, as you observe, the salt remain. Okay, and we turn off the stove. This is what happened. Still, you have to use the pot holder. See? As you can see. Okay? Salt remain. It's still the same. It's still salt. So this is what we called evaporation. So asin gihapon siya, guys.
Freezing.
These are the materials that we're going to use for freezing.
So this is water. Next is this is a regular oil, then an empty bottle. So the procedures are, first we're going to put water into the empty bottle at least half. Next, we're going to pour oil. So after mixing the two components, we're going to put it to a freezer.
Meanwhile,
So after we put it into the freezer, so as you can see, the oil solidifies first because the oil has a low freezing point.
Once again, the different ways of separating the components of mixtures are: manual separation, magnetic separation, filtration, decantation, evaporation, freezing.
What is freezing? Freezing or cooling is a process of separating mixture used for mixtures composed of two liquids components off different freezing points.
Experiment time.
meanwhile,